again. Welcome to the GSL Code S. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis, and we have a very special day today. We're at the Final Four.
The Final Four, Tasteless. These are 4 crazy nerd ballers in here. They have gone through an unbelievably hard season of Code S, and we might have a 3-time champion on our hands, Tasteless.
You know, and what's cool about it is we have quite a diverse little mix here. We got NesTea, who's arguably the best player in the world. You know, people like him, MC. We used to say that about MVP. He's fallen off a little bit right now. We have HongUn, who's got a really bizarre play style. A huge upset when he took out MC. And, then we have Beyond, who's got the best stamina, I think, out of anybody in Starcraft 2 I've ever seen, hands down.
Yeah, man. That's very true.
I've never seen somebody last so long. He defeated Bomber. Bomber looked like he was playing better, but, in a best of 5, you have to win 3 games. You can't just play extraordinarily in 2 games and then move on. And
that's
of course
for
our
best
final,
of 3s, Tasteless.
Yes, that's for best of 3s. And finally, we have Lucira, who is the kind of Zerg Jr. on IM. We could end up with a final with NesTea against Lucira, the established champion against the person who he's basically taught. He's been the sensei for.
It could happen, man. IM Zergs are pretty good, so I hear.
Word on the street.
Yeah, that's the word, Tasteless.
That's the word.
That's what they're saying on the corners.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Little bird whispered in my ear.
Yeah, little kids are doing hopscotch and 1, 2, 3, 4, NesTea and Lucira.
Oh, I thought you were going to make it rhyme. I was going to poke you.
You make me look bad?
I'm sorry. This is the GSL based in Seoul, Korea, the mecca of esports. This is the best esports show on the planet, best TV show on the planet. Yeah. Any kind of show better than Cirque du Soleil. Their stuff they do, it's kind of hard, you know what I mean? But really,
it's kind of hard, but there's wires and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
There's no wires here, Tasteless. There's only wires, one going to my headset.
That's right. Think about that. So, I
guess we just proved that one.
I guess we win there.
Yeah.
I guess I can go home now, but I won't because I have to cast these amazing games. By the way, add GOMTV on Twitter and check out our mobile services. You can add myself on Twitter. I'm Call Me Tasteless. You can add this guy over here. He's Artosis. Hi. I'm so excited.
Me too, man.
I mean, I love my job, but today I'm actually especially excited.
Round of 4 is normally the best games in GSL. Let's just put that out there. Let's just say it.
Our finals have been a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, it's normally one guy just owning the other. But the round of 4 is normally amazingly good, at least one match. So I think today is going to be outstanding.
And frankly, I don't know what our finals is going to look like either, as far as the players go. Because I got an interesting little fact to drop in. We just learned this. NesTea is actually a bit concerned about playing HongUn.
Yeah, in fact, he said that he needs to win map number 1, dual site.
Yeah, or he might not win this at all.
That was what he feels this series is going to hinge on.
We just found this out.
And if Professor
15 minutes ago, we were backstage with the guy. We were all talking. And what's funny about that is NesTea is normally not like that.
No.
At all. Normally
he just
laughs and just does a cartwheel into the booth and plays with his elbows.
Yeah, he normally plays with his elbows.
Yes.
I mean, NesTea, until the round of 4, normally doesn't use his hands.
Sometimes he doesn't even play with a monitor. So for him to be a little bit concerned, you know what's funny is I say that joke. Somebody out there is like, "What? I don't get it. Don't you need a monitor to play StarCraft?" Oh, by the way, be sure to participate in the GSL slogan event. Our old slogan back before we had a lot of English speakers here was "Your turn to fly."
Yeah.
Now we want to have something better, but we don't want to come up with it. We want you to come up with it. Yes, you, person watching, people watching. We want you guys to email us. If you give us a slogan, Artosis and I will not pick it out. It'll be, our producer. But if it's picked out, you will get a season or year-long season ticket. Excuse me.
That is actually really nice, man.
That's so good.
That's a lot of events. That's a lot of Starcraft.
A lot of
games.
casting.
A lot of Tastosis.
A lot of Tastosis. A lot of Wolf. A lot of NesTea because he always wins. He always gets this deep in tournaments.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so excited about this whole NesTea thing, man.
This is so cool.
Thing is, he has made it round of 8 and round of 4 multiple times, as well as 2 championships. This guy is actually the best player in the world.
Yeah. It's so funny too because in StarCraft 1, he was a 2-on-2 player. He did do some one-on-ones, but to basically no success. A lot of people said you're too old for pro gaming. Time to find another job. Time to
Truth
maybe
of the matter was, Tasteless, he was
the
too
chosen
smart
one. Yes.
for pro gaming.
So what happened is StarCraft 2 comes out. Do you remember that first day? We're like, all right, who we cast? We're like, oh, that's Zergbong.
Yeah.
That was his old idea, Zergbong. Now he's NesTea. I'm like, oh, well, this will be interesting. I don't expect anything impressive.
He delivered exactly that, Tasteless. He didn't lay one creep tumor.
He lost
in
season 1, and then in season 2.
He was a total scrub season 1. Season 2, yeah.
In season 2, he
didn't lose a game to the finals.
Yeah, he actually Shoryukened his way up the bracket to the top.
He literally didn't lose a game to the finals.
Yeah.
And it was like cheese season, and he was Zerg, and this is back when Zerg was having a terrible time. And he's just like, nah, it's fine. And then just defended Marine King Prime like 7 games in a row and won. It was the only finals that you can say were close. was close.
It's crazy. Oh, we're going to have an interview, so check that out.
거신 캐스터 서경환입니다. 자, 오늘 32강부터 뚫고 이제 드디어 4명의 전사가 남겨지게 됐는데 오늘 먼저 만나볼 2명의 선수가 바로 제 옆에 자리를 두고 있습니다. 먼저 임재덕 선수입니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 이어서 안호우 선수입니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
자, 그러면
Saying hello.
먼저 임재덕 선수에게 물어보도록 하겠습니다. 임재덕 선수, 자 이제 4강입니다. 4강 경기를 앞두고 있는 지금의 심정 많이 떨리시죠?
아니요, 상대가 프로토스라서 별로 긴장은 안 돼요.
지금 옆에 안홍 선수가 있는데.
My opponent's Protoss, not bad.
역시 임재덕 선수의 포부 장난이 아닙니다. 자, 이걸 듣고 있는 안홍 선수 어떤 마음을 가지고 있을까요?
또한 별로 그렇게 떨리진 않고요.
야, 제가 지금 상황을 만드는 게
Apparently
아닐까
also
좀
not that nervous.
걱정이 생기는데, 자 임재덕 선수에게 물어보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 프로토스 안홍 선수가 지금 자신감이 안홍 선수의 그 경기에 자신감이 있다고 하셨는데 오늘 경기 예측 해본다면?
1세트만 이기면은 쉽게 이길 것 같고요. 1세트를 지게 되면은
But when the first set, I'll win.
어떻게도
But if I lose the set,
이길
I'll
수
still
있다라는 그런 말씀 해주고 계시네요. 자, 마지막으로 오늘 4강전을 치르는 각오와 함께 그 팬들에게 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 오늘 좋은 경기 보여드릴 테니까 많은 응원해 주세요.
네, 자 임재덕 선수를 간단하게 짧게 만나봤습니다. 자, 이어서 안홍 선수에게 다시 물어보도록 하겠습니다. 제덕신이라 불리우는 임재덕 선수와 만나게 됐단 말이에요. 뭐 많이 떨리지는 않으신가요?
예, 방금 전에 말했듯이 별로 떨리진 않아요.
역시나 변화가 없군요. 자, 쉽게 이길 수 있을 것 같다라고 얘기를 해주셨는데 안홍 선수는 경기 예측 한다면?
마찬가지로 1경기를 누가 잡느냐에 따라 좀 갈릴 것 같은데요. 그래도 어쨌든
I think the first set is very important. The person who wins the first set could very well win today.
자 마지막으로 이 팬들에게 각오와 함께 사실 이제 뭐 잘 봐달라 혹은 어떻게
Do you have anything
하겠다
you'd like to say to your fans?
제 앞에 이제 저그의 신이 자리 잡고 있는데 제 앞을 가로막는 것이라면 신이라도 떨어뜨려서 제 뒤로 보내겠습니다.
오, 섬뜩해.
God, I'm sure you can see it in front of me, but I'm going to make it disappear.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 두 선수 이제 본격적인 경기만을 앞두고 있습니다. 과연 연세대학교 대강당의 문을 박차고 들어설 선수는 이 두 선수 중에 어떤 선수가 될까요? 지금 바로 지켜봐 주시기 바랍니다. 출발해 주십시오.
Well, Tasteless, that interview by NesTea is a little bit different from what we were hearing backstage.
Yeah.
You know what I think happened?
Well, I think he's got to say a certain thing when you're out there.
Well,
and HongUn's right next to you, you know.
my guess is, Tasteless, that he went to the bathroom, he had to pee, and then he saw himself in his mirror. He's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm NesTea. Of course I'm going to win.
Well, you know, both these guys, NesTea, I remember back when he was playing Slayer's Box, we seen him backstage, and, you know, it was like, semifinals, and there's all these documentary teams around.
Yeah.
Filming Slayer's Box, like, is he going to make it to the finals? Like, NesTea's in the corner, like, I remember he just sighed and then went in there and slayed Slayer's Boxer.
Yeah,
so
since
then, he's definitely got some confidence. HongUn has always had confidence.
Yeah,
He's
always.
actually been a little bit
Even
cocky.
the games he gets
He's always-
completely destroyed on.
Yeah, he's one of these guys that's always picking out a rival, and this is going to be interesting because HongUn, you know, he has not been able to practice as much as of late, but
he has
oddly
a
enough, that
severe
makes
wrist
him.
injury.
Yeah, he had a wrist injury, but apparently when you're HongUn, and you don't practice as much, you beat MC. So
Yeah, apparently.
and you know, and I'm not even joking. Sometimes if people take a little bit less practice,
Yes.
They play a lot better.
That's so true, Tasteless. Planned breaks are very good for improving StarCraft skill. One thing I have to point out, though, is if we all recall back to HongUn's match against Xenio, if he plays like he played against Xenio, NesTea will actually eat his babies. It will be bad.
You know, he's got a very Blink Stalker heavy style, and I don't know if that's going to be good against somebody like NesTea who can he just always has enough stuff.
Yes. He is... Basically, he's like Savior was in StarCraft 1. Very similar
Actually,
style,
that's like the best way to
where
say it.
Where it's like he drones and drones and drones and just watches everything you do, and then at the last second crushes your army.
Yeah, moving out too much against somebody like NesTea is like trying to move in quicksand.
Yeah, the best things to do, Tasteless, against him is either hit an insanely tight, all-in timing attack. Like, for instance, San did this back when San was really coming up strong.
Yeah.
You know, like a Forge Expanded 6 Warp Gate real quick. Or play a very passive game, but that's dangerous, man, because you let NesTea get in the Supreme late game, he's going to have so many chances to outthink you to make better decisions, but you don't want to do something in between.
If I had to play against NesTea, I would say I'm not going to attack him when he's getting his third base, because he never, ever loses that.
Yeah, it's
maybe on his fourth. I mean, that's a very abstract way. I know it's a very abstract thing I just said, but you got to be very careful when you attack in an ST because he's usually going to stop it, and then you're like, well, I'm never going to get out of my base from here.
I'm going to go even a little bit further while we watch him meditate and say if you're Protoss attacking him, you need to either be attacking him at like 100-ish supply or 200-ish supply. Like, you're attacking 160, no.
Yeah.
No, he will crush you.
I agree.
That's like a weird, funky timing that he's going to take advantage of. Look at how calm he is. What is this? He is actually meditating.
Well, he's somebody who has so much experience doing this. I mean, you just got to kind of get in the zone. All right, what is the build I'm going to do? By the way, here are the maps. The Eliminated Zelnaga Fortress for NesTea. Belshire Beach, pretty commonly eliminated map here for HongUn. Now, NesTea knows, all right, what build am I going to do going into this? How do I execute it? HongUn, you know, it's funny because I don't even know if HongUn expected to be here. I don't know if he expected to be defeating MC the way he did. But my God, now he's just one set away from being in the finals.
I know, man.
There's so much money.
It's insane.
In the finals, yeah.
You know, HongUn's been thinking about perhaps retiring, going off to the Army.
Yeah. In case you guys are wondering, there is a compulsory military service for all able-bodied young men. NesTea's already served his, right?
No, he has not.
No kidding.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Yeah, he has not? Okay.
But here we go.
It's time. The countdown has started. And now the game is loading, so let's see. This is supposed to be, according to the players, both of them, the most pivotal match in the best of 5. So whoever wins this, according to them, is going to have a higher chance of coming home with a seat in the finals. All right, it's time. Head-to-head, NesTea against HongUn Prime, Zerg against Protoss. Here on the map, dual site, let's go. It's on over here in the upper right starting location on the map dual site. 2-time champion of the GSL, the best Zerg in the world, and that is undisputed. He is...
I am NesTea.
Oh, yeah.
Huge amount of fans here today, Tasteless.
Our studio is actually so packed. The lobby right now is stuffed with people. We have seats out there, too. That does happen sometimes. And now in the bottom left, a very unique and eccentric style for Protoss. He is... You know, whenever she does it, the voice comes out so fast and never ready. It's like the 8th sound has already started. She's out there.
She always jumps the gun.
Well, I'd be a little bit excited to do that for HongUn Prime, too.
Of course.
So, NesTea initially... And I think the general of thumb is still true. He was more like Savior from Starcraft 1. And as you guys can see, it's actually so full in here. We can't actually get camera shots to see it, to show you guys everything, but we even have people sitting in the team seats for the team matches.
Well, it's going to be a Forge Fast expansion here. The last time we saw someone do this against NesTea, he actually went for that spine crawler
Yeah.
rush, and it was against the teammate of HongUn, AnyPro.
Yeah, this is one of the things I wanted to mention too is that normally we associate NesTea as kind of a passive macro player, but every once in a while, I mean, he throws a wrench in those gears.
Yeah.
And you're saying, oh my God, he's doing some insane rush, like he did with the spine crawler rush, where he basically rushed to layer and started building spine crawlers, dropped creep in front of the fast expansion, and just messed that Protoss up.
Yeah, he certainly did. Now, we're going to have to wait and see exactly what wants to do here. It's a gasless pool first build, so it's very high economy, yet still quite safe. HongUn going for his Nexus before cannon. Well done, realizing that he can get away with that. Drone going after probe. Tasteless quietly watching.
I was trying to think of something funnier, Tosis. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There's a lot of scantipedes in this location.
Well, Scantipedes are actually NesTea fans.
Well, of course. Who
Obviously.
isn't? I always, whenever we see a Zerg at the bottom left side of the map and the goats are there, I'm always amazed. Like, wouldn't the Zerg just like infest the goats?
Well, I don't know how good a unit the goat is, though, Tasteless.
Well, it doesn't matter. They just infest everything.
but
The Zerg are not like, well, you know, they got the cost benefit out there. Like, what is the net worth of infesting a goat? Is this really worth our time? You know. Then they have infested goats hatching out eggs.
Well, you know, they could neural parasite a Scantipede, I believe.
Yeah, I think you can neural parasite.
That's
Can you
true.
neural parasite? No, you can't neural parasite a goat.
You cannot click on the goats.
You cannot click on the
Tasteless.
goat. That's right.
The goats are at the real.
Wow. So nobody can mess with the goat.
No.
You can't kill it right with splash damage.
It's a ghost.
All right. Nice building placement here for HongUn. It's pretty tight. Wall in at the entrance. A lot of Protosses at this level of play. Really experience Zergling rushes a lot, where the Zerglings try to get in the main. If somebody gets just even 3 Zerglings into your main, maybe the whole game's going to look different.
You know, I am actually in love with the way both players are playing right now. NesTea still no second guess. HongUn transferred almost no probes. Very few probes transferred, maybe like 2 or 3. And he's actually, I see that he has it calculated out very well for how many to transfer for optimal mining as quickly as
funny
possible.
That Stargate location just happened to be in the worst possible place.
Yeah.
It looks like it's tucked away, but NesTea had already snuck in an overlord around there.
The Nest Overlord. Saw that, Tasteless.
And we don't have a shot of it yet, but we will soon. There's another expansion for NesTea being taken in the center right location.
Oh my god.
And that's a bit unorthodox.
He takes it and double gasses immediately afterwards. He's already up to 34 drones against 30 probes. Normally at this point, you will not have this many drones, but of course, he has been skipping gas for just so long, and he is droning like a crazy person. This is actually such beautiful economy management by NesTea. I'm so impressed.
So it looks like we have a Void Ray now coming out for HongUn. This is, at this point in time, this is one of the standard openers we see in Protoss versus Zerg. Generally, after the Void Ray, he will get a Phoenix. The Void Ray with the Phoenix, they really complement each other. You can pick up a Queen, and the Void Ray shoots it down. Good, but if you lose either of those 2 units when they're coming out, it's bad. Now, if he keeps making Phoenixes and then loses the Void Ray, HongUn's going to be at a huge disadvantage because although the Phoenixes are good, they're units you can stay active with, they are not nearly as good without a Void Ray. They can't take out heavy stuff.
That's quite true. You have to get a lot of them Tasteless. And NesTea is very quickly trying to connect his creep from his natural expansion down to his third base. Starting to throw up his spore crawlers now, realizing, okay, this is going to be some sort of starport build. Well, as he already knew, of course, but he's timing it out at the last second to make these spores.
Considering he's actually trying to connect the creep with the middle right base, that means that he's actually not afraid of revealing that he has an expansion.
Yeah. Now, 55 drones are already out. 57 now. He is actually, this is some of the quickest droning I have ever seen. And of course, against this build from HongUn, that is going to be fine for now. HongUn, though, has just finished a second Stargate. So he's actually going to go mass Phoenixes.
Oh, wow. This is actually pretty HongUn-esque, though.
Yeah, he loves playing a little bit weird. Normally, a lot of Blink Stalkers do come into play. I'm surprised, since he's going for this many Phoenixes, that he's not getting +1 to air weapons. That's actually a very cheap upgrade.
That's actually a very good point.
It would more than pay for itself for him to start that right now.
He might get it in a minute here.
That's definitely a possibility. So, NesTea right now, just getting all of his gases, all of them at once before this layer is done. This is, oh man, I'm actually just so interested watching this Tasteless, seeing how NesTea's build unfolds, seeing how HongUn goes with his build, the double Stargate that we don't see all too often. But it is something that I think any pro kind of has pioneered a little bit. In fact, the one game that he took off NesTea last time they played last GSL was with double Stargate Phoenixes.
Now, the reason why, in case you guys are wondering, he hasn't sent the Phoenixes out yet, he wants to have an element of surprise.
Yeah, he wants to have a good number, and look at that.
Now, he only saw one, so that's actually not that huge.
That's quite true. Now, there's not that many spores out right now, Tasteless. He's making a lot of spines right now. Doesn't really know what's going on. A bunch more gates coming up, so those will be useful later, but that's a lot of Phoenixes, and that Queen can be taken out very easily, but it looks like he's going after drones for now, and now going after that Queen, but no Spore. Is making a Spore in the mineral line, and HongUn looks like he will end up taking out both Queens and maybe a lot of Overlords as well.
Yeah, that Spore Crawler is on the way, but in the meanwhile, a lot of Overlords picked up. He is almost supply blocked. Maybe one or two more Overlords killed. Knowing NesTea's reaction time.
Yeah.
More, hold that thought.
More Spores being created right now, Tasteless. A lot of drones being sniped out by HongUn. Wow, he is actually killing so many drones right now. And after all those drone kills, Tasteless, NesTea is still at 70.
Uh-oh, we got a counterattack here, and these Zerglings should manage to get the cannon. Roach is coming in here as well.
Looks like he wants to kill some probes of his own, Tasteless. These Roaches won't be able to do too much because HongUn definitely has enough units here to stop them. Nice force field there. Trapping 3 Roaches will take those down so quickly.
I'm not sure exactly what HongUn's plan was with the Roaches. I thought he was going to leave after he drove the probes out. NesTea actually getting in a lot of trouble right now. HongUn's starting to get off to a pretty good lead.
Well, you know, one good thing is he drew those Phoenixes away. That's buying him time to get up everything he wants to. He's making another Spore Crawler. The Hydra's Den is about to pop out. He's replenishing his Queens, pushing his creep forward. More Spines as well. And it looks like he's going to go into a pretty defensive macro mode. He's still up after all this 126 supply to 100 with 77 drones against 47 probes. Absolutely astounding.
All right, Phoenix is moving out now. Once again, he might try to come in here and take out Overlord's drones. And, you know, with the Hydras out and all these Spore Crawlers up, I don't know if the Phoenix Harassment's going to do a lot, but let me tell you something. This timing attack may very well take NesTea out. This is a very scary timing attack. And with Phoenixes mixed in there, it's difficult to say as long as he picks up the right units. Look, he could just lose his expansion.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Here we go. A lot of units coming out. And that is a lot of Hydras. 15 more Hydras in production. And
nice
he just has to be careful. Uh-oh, a lot of damage being done. But he does run out behind the force fields. Very well done. Relocating all these Spine Crawlers. And as these do plant and the Hydras pop out, I think NesTea probably will be able to hold this. A very powerful timing, though. HongUn does have +1 attack. And look at that. Lifting up so many Hydralisks.
But you know what? There might be too many Spine Crawlers here.
Yeah, it looks like
it's just Stalkers left over, and I can't believe that NesTea actually held that.
NesTea, phenomenal play, Tasteless. He has 3 Spores up there as well. He's really relying on some of these structures to help hold off timings like that Zergs oftentimes lose to because their units just get torn apart by all the spells of Protoss. So this is just wow. That's all I have to say. No, I was lying. I have a ton more to say than that, Tasteless. Don't be silly.
Now we have, once again, this happens a lot when you see these 2-base timing attacks. It's pretty tough to get a 3rd and pretty easy for the guy that held off the rush to get a 4th.
I mean, NesTea right now, he's in such a great spot. I'm looking around at HongUn's base trying to figure out what he can do. He's getting Blink now, but against Mass Hydra Roach from NesTea that he's going to be able to macro so well. He's at 167 supply against 87. Not 187, 87. So NesTea at this point is in complete control of this game. He can take more bases. He can start pressuring. He can upgrade more. He can tech up, whatever he wants.
You know, right now, I think I've seen HongUn go into that style he oftentimes reverts into when he's starting to lose, where he's just making a lot of Stalkers.
Yeah. And, I mean, right now, NesTea has a ton of Hydras. He's at 29 Hydras with 18 Roaches, and that's just about the right numbers. He's going to be able to tank with the Roaches, while the Hydras deal a lot of damage and have that range that's going to help out against the Blinks. So here he goes. He has some roaches out in the front. He is rallying more units in. Just attacking right in. Nice force fields by HongUn, doing as much damage while taking as little as he possibly can.
He's going to want to run. That's more Hydras than there are Stalkers. That's a lot of damage that can be dealt.
They have +2 as well against just the +1 of HongUn. And NesTea. Oh my God, Taste.
Yeah,
He's just going to overwhelm.
And it looks like this should now be a loss, unless I'm mistaken. I don't see any way that. This is the thing about Stalkers. They're great to be microed with and stuff. But if you actually have to, if you're just up against the corner with Stalkers, they're going to die.
Absolutely.
Basically, everything beats them except for Marines.
GG. NesTea crushes HongUn in the very crucial game number 1.
Really well done by NesTea. For a little bit there when the Phoenixes came out, and then there was that that bunk counterattack that just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I thought, man, HongUn might have this. I think you could tell when you see HongUn here that I think he probably thought he had that too. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's a nice strong.
Yeah. Now, I think that's a pretty shaking game for a Protoss player to experience.
Yes.
This is what it's like when you play against a really, really good Zerg, like at the professional level. I've mentioned this before. When you play Terran in StarCraft 1, it's the same thing for Protoss in StarCraft 1. It's like, well, I just can't really get out of my base. I don't know what to do. Like, whenever I leave, all my stuff dies, and then if I stay in there, he takes the whole map. That was one of those games. There was that one time in attack where I thought, maybe, and, we saw the Phoenixes on top of the battle picking stuff up, and then when they moved, there were, like, all these spine crawlers there, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, NesTea was so smart. Connecting those 2 bases with creep allowed him to move up all the spine crawlers from his 3rd base very, very quickly, get them burrowed in time to make a difference. I have to say, I'm so impressed. That it was the best economy management I've ever seen from a Zerg. Despite constantly losing drones, he was up at 80 during the Phoenix harass.
Pretty crazy.
When you're up there, that makes me think that a 2 Stargate Phoenix, in theory, can't do much against a Zerg like NesTea.
I would not go 2 Stargate Phoenix on that map. Anyways.
It's NesTea he handled everything, Tasteless.
He really
showed
did.
us why he is the smartest player in the entire world.
All right, well, HongUn is in a little bit of trouble now. The map is Metalopolis. This is not, I don't use buzzwords like imbalanced, but it's not an easy map for Protoss the longer the game goes on.
You can expand pretty freely on this map as far as ZVP goes, Tasteless. The countdown has begun.
That's my line.
Well,
no, you go ahead. You
the
lead.
Countdown has begun. Game number 2, NesTea against HongUn Prime on Metalopolis. Can HongUn start a comeback, or will NesTea crush his hopes at a GSL victory?
That was amazing. Now's the part where we realize we still have a lot more time to go. So we have 3 more shots after this.